Welcome back to the Sanctuary, Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn, and our trip down memory lane. Cruising X here. We're continuing with our Crystal Tower arc. Let's take a look at the rules. I'm doing this through New Game Plus. I'm doing this as Meteor's job in the promotional art. I am doing this with quest or patch level appropriate gear. And I am doing this through duty support, with the exception of raids, alliance raids, and duties that do not support it. All right, back to the basics. Okay, so we are on. So, as of right now, we are sitting pretty on patch. What patch are we on? You gotta remember what patch we were on. Just right. So, patch 2.3, Defenders of Eorzea, and with it, a new patch for a new bit of quest storyline for the Crystal Tower. Where we left off, we had just navigated the defenses of the Labyrinth of the Ancients, and we're still trying to figure out what's going on, or whether or not we need to seal up the Crystal Tower or destroy it. But we still have a lot to go through, so let's not waste any time here and get right down to it with the next quest in our endeavor, the level 50 quest, Circus Tower.
Ah, 'tis you, my friend. You are doubtless eager to hear of our progress on the Crystal Tower. Excellent. Be disappointed to hear otherwise. Of course, disappointed is the word of the day, I fear. Ashamed to say that there is nothing worthwhile to report. Sons continue to probe the Labyrinth of the Ancients, and every day brings new discoveries. Alas, the same cannot be said of the Crystal Tower proper. We've not been able to set so much as a single foot inside it. You will recall how the 8 sentinels stood between us and the labyrinth initially.
In like manner, the entryway into the principal spire, Circus Tower, the Allegans called it, is also protected by technology far more advanced than our own. Sid and I have tried every trick we know, but without success. Frankly speaking, you're at a loss.
It is discouraging, but we cannot give up. There must be a way in. And so the situation stands, my friend. Until we gain entry into the tower, I fear your talents shan't avail us. It will require time that I am loath to waste, but I have a mind to set my people to scouring such ancient texts as we have on hand.
Perhaps we can be of assistance. And you are? Be at ease, friends, for we share the self-same goal. I am Unei, and my companion is called Doga. We are the scholars of the Allegan civilization, sent by the students of Baldessian to assist in your endeavor.
Unei and Doga? Rather unusual names for this day and age, if I might be forgiven for observing. But I digress. You claim to be here at the students' behest, but we have received nary a word of your coming. Moreover, in light of the recent incident at the Isle of Val, I should think that they have rather more pressing concerns.
We can only assume that the message failed to reach you due to some mishap. I assure you that we are here to help.
What is it, Graha?
'Tis nothing. There was a pain, but it has subsided. Well, this is rather unexpected. Your right eye is the same as ours.
The same? 'You...
You have the Allegan eye as well?
This sanguine hue is said to be a trait unique to the Allegans, yet I inherited it from my father as he did from his. Only one child in a single generation is born with the eye. All my life I have sought to learn the truth of its manifestation. If there is aught you know, I implore you to tell me. My deepest apologies, but we have no answers for you. Only one thing is certain. Those who possess the trait are bound by fate to Alec. As your eye has placed you upon the path you walk, so too have we come here to fulfill our destiny. Absurd though it may sound, it is the truth. It seems we have naught to lose by accepting their aid. What say you? That is your wish. So be it. Yet know that I still mean to verify your story with the students of Baldessian when I am able. I trust there will be no objections. Very well. As of this moment, I name Unei and Doga advisory members of Noah. Without further ado, let us have them examine the circus tower entrance. I promise you'll not have cause to regret your decision. Chris, I should be much obliged if we were to accompany your new friends to the tower. Biggs and Wedge are presently surveying the 8 sentinels. The 2 of them can show you the way. Upon arrival, pray report to Master Garland. He will brief you on the situation. I shall join you, Chris. With Unei and Doga's knowledge, along with your uncanny knack for setting events in motion, I am hopeful that we will finally see progress. Okay. Back to the Sentinels. I hate how it blocks us. What the fuck? Let us through. Don't let us fly. Such bullshit. I hope they fix that in a later patch. Hello, Biggs. Well, if it isn't Chris. He could enter Circus Tower and kill everything in sight, no doubt. As I'm sure you've already heard, though, the place is locked up tight as a clam. New friends from the students, you say? Excellent. Been slow going, or rather, no going for the chief. He'll appreciate the help. If you'll just follow me, I'll take you to him. Ah, some old faces to lift the spirit. A couple of new ones besides. Allow me to introduce Unei and Doga. They are scholars of ancient Alec sent here by our friends of Baldessian to aid in the investigation. We understand you are having trouble circumventing the tower's defenses. It's our hope that we can be of some small assistance. Your attire is all to go by. Your assistance should prove invaluable indeed. To begin with, let me tell you where we stand. Beyond rises Circus Tower, the principal spire of the structure, collectively known as the Crystal Tower. The only way to get inside is through the proverbial front door, the imposing gate you see here. The problem is, we can't get it to open. It's sealed by some mechanism whose workings are an utter mystery to me. Having had no success via more orthodox methods, I went at it with everything from a pickaxe to a Magitech cannon. Nothing so much as put a scratch on it. For a blessing, the gate doesn't try to reduce us to ashes like the 8 Sentinels, but that doesn't make it any less effective a security measure. It's fiendishly frustrating in its simplicity. The only clue we have is the elaborate device carved upon it. A man and a woman, respected. Allegan royalty by my judgment. Precisely who these individuals were, we cannot say. Nor do we know whether the device actually serves a purpose. Like as not, it is purely decorative. Here we go. If you're thinking to force it, save your strength. It's no use. Just ask the calluses on my hands. Rest assured, we do not mean to waste our strength. Indeed. Why should we exert ourselves? And the gate will open of its own accord. Hello. I don't think any of us expected that to happen. Seven hells. What is this? What did you do? What are you? Piercing the heavens and gathering the light, symbol of mankind's glory and might. Its virtue guarded by gates impregnable, only to those of royal blood answerable. Exactly as passed down through legend, I am delighted to see. Beg pardons for interrupting your bewilderment. I couldn't help but notice the remarkable playthings you have acquired. Nero, you're still alive? Garland. If I didn't know better, I would say you weren't happy to see me. But I jest. In light of our recent meetings, you have every right to be wary. But rest assured, I am no longer a threat to you. My legion is, for all intents and purposes, defunct, and my association with it means a tight noose awaits me back in Garlemald. And so I have been roaming this land Eorzea, a regular itinerant. In the course of my wanderings, I chanced to catch wind of your latest venture. It sounded positively fascinating. And so I decided to come here and join you. After the wrongs you've committed, you think us that gullible? If you are suspicious of my intent, it is only my just deserts. But I am determined to make amends. As a gesture of goodwill, I will share with you what I know, starting with these two odd characters. As you are doubtless already aware, the Crystal Tower was a symbol of ancient Aleg's might and prosperity. Entry was permitted only to royalty and a select few individuals. According to the records I have unearthed, only royal blood can open the gate. In other words, the Emperor and his progeny were living keys. You mean to say that these two are descended from Allegan royalty? Oh, I suggest nothing so glamorous. To put it plain, they are imitations of royalty. Living keys born of Allegan ingenuity. Clones, I believe, is the name your creators gave your kind. Is that not so? It would seem that the time for concealment is past. Pray accept our apology. 'Twas not our intent to deceive. We simply wish to avoid causing undue alarm by prematurely making what many would consider deranged claim. If it please you, let us return to the 8 Sentinels. There is much and more to tell. Very well. Seven hells. Do you seriously mean to follow us around? Come, Garland. You know me better than to think that I spoke in jest. What more will it take for us to be reconciled? A gift, perhaps? An Allegan tombstone. It holds the information I just shared with you, and a deal more besides. It used to be the jealously guarded property of the 14th Legion, but it's yours now. I wish you joy of it. I look forward to working together, old friend. Alright, let's talk to Unei and Doga. Because we have plenty of time to do it. If you are ready to listen, we shall tell you all. As it pertains closely to your investigation, your leader, Brambros, may wish to be present. Before we begin, pray allow me to apologize again. It was not our intent to deceive you. As you will have already gathered, we are not scholars sent by the students of Valdesian. Nay, we are clones, copies of people who once existed, given life through Allegan technology. This is rather a lot to take in. If it would not be considered unseemly, might I ask why you and yours were created? And more specifically, what is it you now seek to do? Answering your questions requires that we revisit Allegan history. Pray, bear with us. The Allegan Empire reached its zenith long before our kind came into being.
In that glorious age, the Crystal Tower stood tall as a symbol of Allegan pride. Parents took their children there, that they might learn how the nigh limitless energy it produced brought prosperity to the whole empire. That prosperity, however, bred decadence, and the empire began to show signs of stagnation. This decline was made all the more rapid for want of strong leadership. In a matter of generations, the Allegan civilization became a pale shadow of its former self. Its once gleaming cities fell into disrepair, and its frontier lands were given over to the wilderness. Lamenting the pitiful state of affairs, one technologist made it his mission to restore Alleg to greatness. Amon was his name, and he believed that the ailing empire wanted for but a potent ruler, and none was more potent than its founding father, whom he sought to resurrect. The founding father? You cannot mean Emperor Xande? None other. As part of his experiments, Amon created clones of the Emperor's descendants. We are the products of that experiment, copies of Unei and Doga.
Historical texts mention the reigns of two Allegan emperors named Xande. It was commonly believed that the second was the namesake of the first. After all, such a custom is not uncommon among royalty and commoners alike. To think that the two were in fact one and the same.
Aye. Xande returned from the grave and assumed his throne once more. And true to Amon's prediction, the Emperor restored his realm to the glory it once knew. Would that he could have been satisfied with that. In his previous life, the Emperor desired to bring...
In his previous life, the Emperor desired to bring the entire world under Allegan dominion, an ambition that ultimately went unfulfilled. Having been granted a second chance, he was determined to succeed. Realizing that he needed more power to wage his war of conquest, Xande turned his sights toward a forbidden source: darkness. In order to learn how to harness this power, he converted the Crystal Tower into a restricted research facility. Darkness? Again? Seven hells! What is it with megalomaniacal rulers turning to darkness in their lust for power? Well, at least this one won't be bothering us, being thousands of years dead and all. Would that you were right, Master Garland. Alas, Emperor Xande is very much alive. Within Circus Tower, he still abides, his ambition burning all the more ardently for his empire's collapse. Wielding the power of darkness requires prodigious amounts of energy that not even the Crystal Tower could produce. In order to augment the shortfall, Dalamud was created and launched into the heavens. On high it hung, gathering the sun's energy and channeling it to the tower below. However, a miscalculation resulted in a surge of energy that escaped into the land. This triggered an earthquake of unprecedented violence, a calamity that ushered in the Fourth Umbral Era. In the blinking of an eye, the mighty Allegan Empire was laid to waste. Yet even as the Crystal Tower was sinking into the earth, the technologist Amon, now Emperor Xande's closest aide, invoked powerful magics and halted the flow of time. Every soul within the structure, the Emperor included, was placed in a deep slumber. In that state, they were to remain until the time was ripe to waken. Eras came and went. After millennia lying
Eras came and went. After millennia lying dormant, Dalamud was summoned back to the Earth. Its descent triggered the seventh umbral calamity, in the wake of which the Crystal Tower re-emerged. At that moment, Emperor Xande awakened. In his lust for power, the Emperor consorted with darkness and was seduced by its corrupting influence. Even though his empire is now little more than a fading memory, he will stop at nothing to see his ambition realized. It is for no other purpose but to put an end to Xande's madness that we exist. This is the mantle we have inherited from our namesakes, the true Unei and Doga. Fearing what might befall the world, the two of them sought to thwart their emperor. They gave unto us their will, that we might carry on their mission should they fail.
When we came to our senses within the Crystal Tower, we deliberated a course of action. Concluding that we alone could not overcome Xande, we struck out to find a worthy ally. It has taken years, but our search is finally over. There's no ordinary man who can cut a path through the labyrinth of the ancients. With you as our champion, Chris Valentine, we are confident that we can end Xande's dark ambition once and for all. Well, that'll teach me for speaking too soon. Setting my chagrin aside, I see now why you knew about the students of Baldessian, among a host of other things. You were observing our investigation the whole time. So, what will we do, Chris? World's in grave danger again. It just so happens you're an expert at saving it. Leave it to me. You have our eternal gratitude. Together, let us see the Allegan Empire's dark past laid to rest. It's been our mission to recover the long-lost knowledge of the Allegan civilization. But what worth is that knowledge if it means subjecting the realm to Peoru? Truth be told, it pains me to think that the tower's secrets may become lost to us. The greater good must ever come first. Besides, no quantity of ancient relics can compare to our friends Unei and Doga, living, breathing Allegans. So I hereby declare a change in Noah's objective. Henceforth, we shall direct all efforts towards sealing off Circus Tower. Its dark secrets must never know the light of day. Chris, as you did for us within the labyrinth of the ancients, I would have you enter the structure and eliminate hostile elements. Suffice it to say, this includes Emperor Xande himself. Meanwhile, the rest of us shall examine ways to isolate Circus Tower from the outside world. Good work then. Wait. There is something I must know. My right eye is like yours. Does this mean? You inherited the trait from your father, you said. Know that clones are unable to bear offspring. You have no cause for concern. The Allegan Eye, you called it. But to us, it is the Royal Eye. owing to the fact that the trait manifests only in those possessed of royal blood. I cannot well explain why the eye runs in your line, but I am disinclined to think it a coincidence. Though you are doubtless impatient to learn the truth, pray, have patience. All will be revealed in due time.
Alright. Raha?
My apologies if I've given you cause to worry. I'm quite well, I assure you. As you can appreciate, there has been much for me to think on. But now is the time for action, not idle thoughts. Circus Tower awaits us. Your task is to eliminate all hostile elements within the structure, Xande himself included. This will afford us a chance to seal off the facility. May the crystal grant you strength.
All right. Time to take on Circus Tower. Let's queue up and see how long this bullshit is gonna take us. Actually, we will take a quick break. If you're watching on Twitch, stay tuned. If you are watching on YouTube, here are the links provided. We'll see you in a bit.